This is Meg 330, Programming for Industry 4.0. This is the software side of the project. So here we have a list of different candy types. So just Reese's, Hershey's, Kit Kat, Nerds, just random candies. And we're going to print a string here. The first three items in the list are... So that's explaining that this is just a string saying that this three items in the list are going to be this. We can see that here. So after that, we're going to use a splice in this for loop. So for candy and candy types. And as we can see, we have this colon here. And there's nothing in front of it, but there's a 3 after. Since there's nothing before it, that means 0 in this case. 0 to the third element. So 1, 2, 3. So it's going to go from here to here. So we grab Reese's, Hershey's, Kit Kat. So then we're going to do the same thing as up here, but we're going to say the 2 items in the middle. And then we're going to do for candy and candy types. And we're going to use the second to the fourth. And if we look at this list again, from the second, so it goes to the second and stops here. And it goes to the fourth and stops here. So it doesn't grab this, but it grabs this. And it doesn't grab any of these two. So we get Kit Kat and Toblerone. And then for the last one, we're kind of doing the reverse of up here. And we're printing the last 3 items in the list. And we put the 3 here. And then since it's on this side of the colon, it's going to go to the end of the list. So if we added another element in here, for example, it should work. As you can see, it did. So let's take that out and build again. Okay, so that's repaired. So then we're gonna make another list here, and this is just showing that I have a separate list. There doesn't actually have to be anything in here, but I decided to put something in there just to show a little bit easier of what I'm doing and like to prove that I'm switching it. So we're gonna actually copy the first list to this list. So that's gonna basically overwrite all these in here. And it's gonna place this in the list. And then we're gonna print that these are the candies available at our store. And this is our like first part of our new and to message. And then we're gonna actually like put this into a for loop. And we're gonna print like this is basically like our stock that we have, our inventory. And we're making a for loop and we're looping through our inventory here, which is actually still our candy. But in this type, we're using the for loop from our candy types, which was our original list. So that should work like we expected. But then we're taking the list here and we're actually going to be splicing it and using it for this part, for the customer order. So that's going to be the Reese's, Hershey's, Kit Kat, Toblerone, Nerds right here. So that worked exactly how we expected. This is like the final message. The customer ordered what we were looking for. So for this next part, we'll be working with some tupples, which are kind of like lists, but they're immutable. So that means they cannot be changed once they're made by standard methods. So what we're going to do with this here is we're going to do a for loop on animal with this tuple here, which is animals. And we're going to print that. So that just comes out with cat, dog, bird, fish, bear, shark. And then I'm going to make another tuple here using numbers. And first what I'm going to do is I'm going to print num tuple. And I'm going to print a range from 0 to 9 in 2s. So that means it's going to go from 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And that's what we see here. That's all our even numbers. So we're going to do a very similar thing, print this tuple as well. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to make the range from 1 to 10. So we can grab that 9 as well because it stops before that 9 if we use 9. So we're going to use the 10 here. And we're going to go from 1. And the reason we're going to use 1, that's how we're going to get our odd numbers. So you put 1 here. And then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is our increment of 2. So this is our start, our stop, and our increment right here. So that kind of makes a range, basically. That's a lot. That is exactly what it does. It allows us to make a range. In the last part for this week's software section, we'll be working with dictionaries. So I do fruit color as our variable, and we put a dictionary in there. And it's easier to look down here to kind of understand how these work. So I print the fruit color, and I call the key, which is apple. And then that returns us the value of red, because it's basically like joined with apple. So we continue that with banana. The key is banana, and the color or the value is yellow. But we could always switch that as well. So if I put yellow here and I put banana here and then I write yellow here, I'm switching the key. So now it's going to say banana. So those are really useful too. That's our dictionaries right there. We continue that all the way throughout for orange. Orange is orange. That one was kind of strange. I don't know why I did that one, but either way that you look at it, it'll come up the same way. We can capitalize that just to show that it is changing. Lime, it comes out as green, so we print lime, comes out green. Berry, it comes out blue for blueberry. So that's the last part of this week's software section. Thank you for watching.